Welcome back into the Rounding Third podcast on Sunday night. A little bit different since, one of our co-hosts is, taking a vacation, which I guess we'll rearrange the schedule for Harrison. And
me.
We got.
I miss you guys. Didn't want to have to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. And we got Sean tonight. How are we doing, fellas?
What's up, fellas? How we doing?
Awesome, boys.
Doing well. All right. Before we get going, make sure you follow and like us on Facebook. You can follow on Instagram. You can subscribe on YouTube. You can also listen on Spotify and Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts. All right. I know we're up against Sunday Night Football, and that's just going to happen from here on out until, baseball season's over on Monday.
But this
nights,
is better. Let's be serious.
Yeah, totally. Absolutely. Although the Pats did get their first win in like 3 years, so love it.
Nobody saw coming, which is good.
Yeah.
I did.
All right.
Stop.
I did. I bet him. I saw it.
Goodness. All right. Before we get into the news and everything else, I wanted to thank everybody that has been supporting us and following us through our almost 3 year journey here. We got to 5,000 followers on Facebook, which absolutely is incredible for us. Like, we did this because we love baseball. We love talking about it. We never thought it would get to this point where people were loving our content, our trivia questions, and everything we put out weekly. So I want to say thank you. We all want to say thank you to everybody. Cool. Yeah, very following us and sticking with us in this journey. It's been an incredible ride for us, for sure.
It's been amazing, more than I ever expected.
Yeah, so it's great. But all right, let's get into the nitty gritty. We'll start off with the Cubs combined no-hitter. Imanaga goes 7. Nate Pearson and Porter Hodge finish it off for the first no-hitter at Wrigley since, 1776 or something like that. So
a long time.
It was a long time. The same thing seems like we keep talking about every single week is like, oh, let him go. He's got a no-hitter. Like 98 pitches at Imanaga, I think, at that point, 7 innings. So almost exactly the same as Framber Valdez last week.
Yep.
And we talked about it last week. The Cubs need to go on a 900 win percentage run in order to get into the playoffs. So you don't want him throwing 130 pitches to cap off this no-hitter to hurt those chances. Are they slim chances? Yes. But you don't want to put your team in a position where you can't go forward with your ace.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's hard too. Like I wasn't watching the game. Like I had it on. Like it was on, but I wasn't like watching it. Yeah. And it's hard, man. I mean, whether to keep a guy in or not on a no-hitter, I think is become much more of like a feel of the game kind of thing. Like, how's the game going? Is this guy feeling like he's mowing guys down? Like, do you feel confident that your guy can go out there and, whether it's 6 more outs or 9 more outs or whatever, like, are you confident this guy can go in there and mow them down? Or is this everything's a full count, everything's getting off to a 2-1 count, 3-2, like what's the feel of the game? And I think that's much more important than giving Imanaga an opportunity to potentially complete a perfect game. Perfect game, you keep him out there. A no-hitter. Because I think you need the win. You got to find a way to win games. You got to win games. Yeah. So I don't hate it. Combined no-hitters, I mean, it takes kind of the sting out of it, but it's still really, really damn impressive. Like it still really is.
Yeah, and I thought Counsell was really good after the game talking about it. He made the comment of, Imanaga's 31. He's an experienced veteran. He knows how to work through these situations. However, he's now thrown more innings than he has in the season before. They've got to win the game. And he thought that the best chance to do that was to go to the bullpen. Hard to argue. Tough to see.
Yep. I mean,
facts.
I think what you said last week, Sean, you hit the nail right on the head is, are no-hitters still impressive? Yeah. But they just don't carry the same weight as they used to. They really don't. I mean, they're still impressive to see. Don't get me wrong. But they don't carry the same weight. And like you said, if it's a perfect game, he's back out there, no questions asked.
Well, but also
he's probably
game. Also, his pitch count ain't at 98.
I was just gonna say that.
Yeah,
his pitch count's a lot. That's all right. His pitch count's a lot lower if he's got a perfect game going.
Right.
So,
and I think when if it's early, if it's middle of the season, earlier in the season, I mean, I think you maybe talk to the pitcher a little bit more and how are you feeling, that kind of thing. Like you're here where you're kind of on the cusp, but you need to continue to go on a run and you need to win games. And you sent him out there for the 8th inning, and he kind of, it's another walk. All right, so he leads off walk. So the no-hitter's still intact, but that's maybe 6 or 7 more pitches, and it leads to a walk. Now that's more, not just pitches, but that's stress pitches. And now what are we doing? Now it's 1 double away from a run in, and it just, is it worth it? And I don't know, this late in the season where you need those wins to stack up, I really don't see a problem with saying, hey, like, you've done a great job. You've done your job. We got 2 guys in the bullpen that we trust, that are fresh, that we think can get the job done. I think you give them the hook. And I think you do that 9 out of 10 times.
I mean, granted, it was a 12-0 ball game.
Yeah, no, right. No, I know that. But I'm just saying, like, statistically, like, it's
right, absolutely.
You've done your job. We're 12-0. Like, you've thrown 100 pitches. We need this win. This particular game isn't exactly in doubt, but I think it's the right move. I really think it's the right move.
Yeah. I think Framber Valdez in a 1-0 game is much easier to say we got to win the game than even August.
Yeah, that one's much more different for sure.
And that's why Counsell backed it up with he's thrown more innings pitched than ever before in his career. We got to get the win. We got to keep him fresh. We got to keep this run going. And I made that move. Again, like, hard to argue his thinking. Not great to see him come out of the game. Glad they finished it because that was cool for Cubs fans. But the wire-to-wire no-hitter would have been even cooler.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're going to stick with the Cubs here. Anthony Rizzo comes off the IL. He returns to Wrigley just in time.
That was cool.
Yeah, and it's such a cool moment when players that have made such a big impact an organization goes back for the first time, gets the proper ovation, block violation, and everything goes smoothly. Yep. My question is, does Anthony Rizzo go down as one of the best Cubs ever?
Ever. It's a long franchise, man.
That's a big title.
Ever saying like what, top what?
I mean, does he go down as one of the best Cubs? Like, if you think of Chicago Cubs, Anthony Rizzo pops into your head.
I look at Rizzo the same way I look at like Kevin Millar. Like,
what?
Let me finish, and not in terms of stats, but like he was the face, he was the personality, like he was that team. Like when people think of that team, he was the guy that got everybody going. He was the personality, the fun, the theatrics. I remember him striking out Freddie Freeman. It was awesome. Statistically, though, I don't think he's going to be one of the best Cubs ever, but he's going to be one of those guys that like everybody remembers and talks about for years to come. Because
I think it helps.
Impact.
Yeah, I mean, I think it helps his case that he was a big part of them winning that World Series in 16,
breaking
15,
the curse.
16.
Yes, 16.
Right? I mean, and he was a big part of that. And he was young, right? Like, I mean, I know the Cubs didn't draft him. Obviously, the Sox drafted him, and he kind of had a little bit of a roundabout way to Chicago. But he made his bones as a Cub, and I think that helps. That you're part of that young core, the Chris Bryants, and they did what they did. And they were able to break that curse and win that World Series. I think that helps his case. One of the best ever, though. Like if we were doing like a Mount Rushmore of Cubs, I don't know if he's in top 4.
It's fair. So 10 years with the Cubs, 242 home runs, 784 RBIs, batted .272, 276 doubles, 1,300 hits. Yep, he's got 3 Gold Gloves with them, 3 All-Star appearances, Silver Slugger. Nope, 4 Gold Gloves with them. Sorry.
Yep.
Man, I mean, yeah, I think I'm with you as far as Mount Rushmore. I don't think he quite makes it. I mean, I could think of Banks, Ferguson, Jenkins, Sandberg, Sosa.
Sandberg. Yep. Right. Yep.
I would probably put the 4 there, but he's got to be, like, for everything you guys said, World Series.
I mean, certainly top 10.
Yeah,
I think top 10. I mean, I think he's well in the top 10.
Yeah, he was a really good player for them for a decade. Is he a top 4 or 5 guy? No. But is he going to be a guy that everybody remembers for the long term because of what he did and the impact he had on that city? Absolutely. That man will never buy a drink in Chicago ever again.
No. So
it was cool to see him, though. It was cool to see him come back to Wrigley.
It was
the
awesome.
Response he got, like, that was really neat.
And they did a nice job too. They did a nice job for him. He got to soak it in without being overly dramatic. But I thought it was really nice to recognize him. Probably weird for him to go back, but it was cool. Cool to see him go back to a city he had such an impact on and let the fans give him a minute.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, we're going to move over to San Francisco, where, like Sean said before the show, they just want to pay somebody. So Matt Chapman, 6-year, $151 million
years, dude. They've tried for years to pay somebody. They tried to pay Correa. They tried to pay Ohtani. They're just trying to pay somebody.
They tried to pay Judge.
Yeah, they tried to pay Judge too. Yeah, that's right.
And then the Yankees just stole him away.
They just want to pay somebody.
Yeah. They wanted to pay Arson Judge, though, not Aaron Judge, right? Wasn't it Arson Judge?
Yeah, it was Arson Judge. Yep, I forgot about that.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, does signing Matt Chapman to this deal lure other free agents to the Giants, though? Does this move the needle for people to come want to play in San Francisco?
I think seeing an established veteran make a long-term commitment helps them because they've not been able to get somebody to do that for a while. So I think Matt Chapman like the best name on the board? No, but he is a solid Gold Glove caliber third baseman, all-star level hitter some years. I think just having that one veteran say, yeah, I'm here, I'm staying for the long term, will open people's eyes to the fact
I believe in what we're doing.
Maybe I should be here too.
Yeah. I mean, I think you also have to question, though, okay, we backed up the truck for Matt Chapman. Are you going to pay me? Or are you going to, like, is Matt Chapman now the guy that's there for X amount of years? And now, like, if I decide to sign, is it a 1 or 2 years at a time? Or do I get a 5-year deal?
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Like, Are they done spending?
I mean,
is he the big fish and that's it?
Is he right? Is he the big fish and now, like, we're just trying to get like a bunch of like decent guys that we're going to pay decent money to?
Yeah.
Because if they're willing to open it up, if Chapman's just the start, and if they're willing to continue to open up the checkbook, I mean, dude, who doesn't want to live it? I mean, San Francisco is a beautiful city, wonderful city, and they love baseball out there, and that's a team that's a city and a team that can do really, really well. I mean, the Dodgers are the Dodgers, but that's a division that you can challenge for.
Yeah.
Like, if you get the right guys in, you spend money and you get the right guys in, you can challenge for that division. And the San Francisco Giants are a legitimate organization in this league. So it's like, if you're going to pay it and you're going to open up the checkbook and bring some more guys in, and if Chapman's just the start, then let it ride.
Yeah. And I feel like they've shown they're willing to spend money. They just got to get people that are willing to sign the other side of the contract. And maybe Chapman gets that. He's the domino that gets the whole thing started.
I hope so. I mean, listen, dude, sports, man, every sport is better when, like, the iconic franchises are good, right? And San Francisco's right there. Like, baseball's better when the Giants are good, when the Yankees are good, when the Red Sox are good, when the Cubs are good.
Yeah.
Like, you give me iconic franchises that are good, the sport is better.
Yeah.
Well, and the Giants aren't that far off either. They've got a decent young core. They're missing a couple of pieces, and that's a team that can challenge for a division. What's tough for them right now is that you got the Dodgers, who are the Dodgers, but you got the Padres and the D-backs who have begun to kind of settle in themselves. So you're now looking up at 3 teams, not 1, and it's a little harder to make some noise in that division.
Yeah. I think your point about young kids coming up is a good one, Harrison, because maybe Chapman sees that. He's seen what Tyler Fitzgerald came up and hit, 5 home runs in 5 consecutive games there. That's a nice piece. Luciano came up. He's been a prospect for a while. His defense is atrocious, but they love his bat. I mean, I watched
It's not great.
I watched the Diamondback series and Giants, didn't miss a single inning of that, and he booted, I think it was 5 balls. Like, really bad.
Great.
He can't catch the baseball, but he can hit. Boy, can he hit.
And you got Ramos. Ramos was an all-star this year. That kid's got some pap. You've
been in the South too long, Nick.
Dude, it's brutal what comes out of my mouth now sometimes, but I like catch myself. But No, I think they do have a core and their pitching staff. You still got Logan Webb. You got Birdsong that's come up. Kyle Harrison has a good upside.
Yep.
So they got some pitchers. I don't know.
They're on the way up. Like they're climbing, and I think an established veteran going there is going to open some eyes. It solidifies a key position. It gives you that veteran presence, and it lets you start to build around because you now have that kind of anchor player, which they've lacked.
Right. Yeah. And who knows what Snell does in the offseason? I mean, you have him right now. It doesn't really help you for this year, but who knows where Snell ends up going. But
it does beg the question. We talked about it before the show. Like, this is the first Boris client that signed one of these one-year deals that's gotten an extension offer. Nothing for Snell yet, nothing for Montgomery yet, nothing for Bellinger yet. Now, in their defense, Montgomery's not been great. Bellinger's not been great. And Blake Snell wasn't great until really the last 30 days when he's been really good. Are we going to see teams, now that we're in September, begin to try to lock these guys up? Or are they going to take their chances with opt-outs? And Montgomery was very vocal that he feels like Boris really screwed this offseason up. So I wouldn't be surprised if he fires Boris before the next go-around. But are we going to see these guys re-sign? Or are they going to go back out to free agency, opt out, and try again?
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't...
Montgomery already fired him, right? Yeah.
I don't remember seeing that he did for sure, but I can't imagine he didn't.
I'm pretty sure he did, like early on in the season. I'm pretty sure.
I remember we talked about it in the offseason right before the season started. Like, he overplayed his hand, no question. This was not a great offseason for him. I mean, I don't think we're spilling any state secrets, right? I mean, he overplayed his hand.
Yeah.
He had all these big names on the market that he thought he was going to get buco bucks for, and it all fell apart. Good for Chapman, though. Listen, man, I like Chapman. I
big fan.
He strikes out a ton. He plays great defense. When he hits, he hits. You know, from all accounts, he seems like a good locker room guy. Yep. I like him. I'm happy for him, man. 6 years, what was it, 150, 151?
Yeah,
151. Yeah.
It's a good number. It's a good number for him.
It is. He's a line drive. He hits a ton of doubles, turns some line drives into home runs, plays great defense. I mean, you could do worse for 6 years and 151.
For sure.
Yeah. All right. Elvis Andrus is officially retiring. I mean, kind of knew it was coming, but I mean, when I think of Elvis Andrus, the first thing that always pops into my mind is just him and Adrian Beltre and all the fun they had on the left side there in the infield. Yep. Like, it's just absolutely like mimicking each other on like ground balls.
I literally was Googling those names as you said it to see if I could find a clip. Those guys were hilarious.
It's so funny. Like, there's an infield pop up and they're both camped under it like this. Yep. You don't know, as a viewer, you're like, well, who's this hit to? You just have no idea. But yeah, I mean,
there's a link in the chat if you want to go watch a few minutes of those two just goofing off in the infield. There was no two players that were better defensively together and also fun to watch because you never knew what chaos and crazy stuff they would do.
Yeah. I mean, really solid career out of Andrus. I mean, can't complain what he brought to to Major League Baseball, to the Rangers. 274 average career for the Rangers. He was a great all-around player.
He was solid every year.
Absolutely. Speaking of solid, Luis Arraez has only struck out twice since the All-Star break. He is currently on a 110 plate appearance streak without a strikeout. And in those plate appearances, he has 5 3-hit games, I believe. I mean, he is our generation's Tony Gwynn.
Yeah,
that's the only parallel you can make. He is the new age Tony Gwynn. Yep.
Yeah. But yeah,
he must drive pitchers crazy because they make good pitches. He just slaps them. He slaps them foul, puts them in play, just constant.
I mean, his combined exit velocity's got to be 36 miles an hour.
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't. I know it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But
I know.
His bat to ball skill is unreal. No matter where the pitch is in the zone, he somehow gets wood on it and finds some green. It's crazy impressive. But
yeah, I mean, I don't know what to say. Yeah, it's incredible.
Incredible. He's hit 4 home runs this year. They're probably accidents. They're balls that he actually got under a little bit.
Yeah.
But like they've shown some videos of his off-season training and his like before game hitting routine, and like he looks like Ted Williams or Tony Gwynn. Like he's got the colored balls. He's telling colors as they come over the plate. He's hitting based on what's called like the pitch is thrown. Then he's told where to hit it, and he puts it in play like there. His bat control, his vision are like another level. But he trains like the guys like Gwynn, Carew, Williams, who were very scientific, but also super disciplined in what they did.
Yeah. And it is really impressive because like when he does those training videos, he's very deliberate in every action and he like almost over exaggerates everything. So like when he's following and hitting the ball, like his head is straight down on it. Like, I mean, it really is impressive to watch some of those training videos and to just, it's a breath of fresh air to see that approach versus the drop and drive that we see almost across the league. I love it.
Yeah, I mean, I think baseball needs all guys, right? I mean, it needs the power guys. It needs the high strikeout, high home run guys. It needs the doubles guys, but it needs those Arraez guys. It needs the guys that can just put the bat on the ball literally anywhere in the zone or outside the zone. I mean, we've seen him. We've seen him hit the ball where it's not even close to the zone, 2 strikes, and he guessed wrong, and he still got the bat on it and got on first base. Yeah. Like the game needs that, and I would love to see younger kids understanding the impressiveness that Luis Arraez is, or how impressive he is, I should say, and with the over exaggeration, right, Nick? Like you were saying, like I'm going to be very deliberate with the way that I'm training because the training that I put in now is only going to help me when 7:30 comes around in first pitch. Like it's only going to help me, and it's not about home runs. And I'm not a home run guy, and that's okay that I'm not a home run guy, and I'm not a doubles guy, and that's okay. But like I get on base and I make things harder for the pitcher and I make things easier for the guys behind me. And that's okay. That's a good way to be. I think the league needs more of those guys. He's
almost as intimidating as Aaron Judge, right?
In a sense.
In a different aspect, right?
Yeah,
like,
in a sense.
I'm on the mound and I see this dude get up and I got, runners on second and third. I'm like,
oh, that's high stress. I don't care if it's a third inning. That's a high stress pitch.
But it's like
it's a high stress AB.
Yeah, how am I getting this guy out? I'm not getting this guy out. I can't.
No, you get him out if he makes a mistake. That's the only way you get him out.
Yeah, it's
because you could make a great pitch, and if he doesn't make a mistake, he's on first base.
Yeah, it's crazy impressive.
What's amazing to me about Arraez though is that his contact is almost a blessing and a curse. So here's a guy who's hitting 317 this year with a 347 OBP because he's walked 14 times all year, 15 Ks and 14 walks. In 6 years,
we say that again. 15 Ks, 14 walks.
15 Ks, 14 walks in 101 games.
So
you look at a guy like Schwarber. Schwarber's going to strike out 200 plus times. He's going to walk over 100 times. He's got a 25 point higher OBP than Arraez, with all those strikeouts because he walks a bunch. Arraez, he's not getting on via the walk. He is going to hit his way on, and that's the only way he's going to get on. He doesn't strike out. He doesn't walk. He puts
does
a
it so
ton
well.
of balls in play.
It's crazy.
Yeah, but he doesn't walk. His contact is so good, he's not in a lot of deep counts.
Do you have his expected batting average there? Like, don't they have that stat somewhere? Like,
we can look it up easy enough.
Expected average on balls in play or something like that?
Batting average on balls in play, BIP.
Sure, whatever that is. But dude, that's crazy. 14 walks, 15 Ks.
Yeah, in 101 games.
That is bonkers.
Like it's crazy. You look at the stat line, you're like, that can't be real.
Yeah. He's like me in slow pitch softball. I didn't come here to walk.
Not here to walk.
No, I did not show up to walk.
Yeah. Man, that's wild. I never would have guessed his walk total was that low.
Me neither.
Yeah, his average exit velocity is 86 miles an hour. So he has a 321 batting average on balls in play. So slightly better than his average, which makes sense.
Yeah. Dang. That's crazy.
I mean, his hard hit percentage is like 23.6%. I mean, that's the bottom 2 of Major League Baseball.
Yeah.
He just
doesn't hit the ball hard, but he hits the ball and
doesn't hit it hard, but puts it in play. He hits it where they aren't.
Isn't that ultimately the point in a sense?
Yeah, like he's not a guy that lights up the StatCast board, but he fills up the stat sheet because he just hits it where they aren't.
Yeah.
2 Ks since the All-Star break is insane. The All-Star break was not last week, folks. Like it
Yeah,
was
no.
not last week.
Been a little while.
That's crazy.
And everybody's throwing 100 plus with 19-inch horizontal break. It's sickening to think about what he's doing right now. But I mean,
I'd love to chat with him.
Unreal.
Just be like, dude, what's your approach?
Yeah.
Like, what's the approach? And he's probably has. And this is not to take anything away because I know he works hard and he obviously like takes very much care in his craft. But it's probably something like, well, I just see the ball and I hit the ball. It's like it's not that easy, dude. Like it's not that easy.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah. 2 strikeouts.
Yeah.
Nuts.
He just makes it look that easy.
He does make it look that easy.
Yeah.
And it's not.
No. All right. A little bit of heartbreaking, actually a lot of heartbreaking news out of the New York Mets camp. So as soon as they tie to get into the wild card slot, Jeff McNeil gets hit by a pitch, broken wrist, done for the year. And he was hot. This dude was swinging the stick finally. It was the old Jeff McNeil that the Mets have been missing all year. Finally gets in a groove, and the baseball gods take it right away. And it's cruel. Baseball's a cruel game sometimes.
They always do. The baseball gods win, man.
Especially against the Mets.
Oh, yes, they do.
But yeah, this is heartbreaking because I'm finding myself pulling for the Mets to overtake, get in the playoffs. Like,
I mean, they're tied with the Braves right now.
Yeah, get them in there, stay there. But this one hurt. This one hurt a lot. But, all right, I'm gonna push this over to you, Harrison, about the whole Whit Merrifield. He got drilled in the head. Was it middle of last week? And then it all came out.
Yeah, it was a few days ago. He got hit with a 98-mile-per-hour fastball in the head by Criswell from the Rockies, and took it right in the ear flap, like straight onto the ear flap. And you can see in the video after he gets hit, he's yelling at the pitcher to throw it over the plate, but he came out of the game just for precaution. And then after the game, they were talking to him, and he was very kind of calm about it. And then he kind of went off on this rant about the fact that he's just tired of these guys coming into the game that throw really hard, that don't know where it's going. And there's no repercussions for them. They don't get suspended or fined for this kind of stuff. They don't hit anymore, so they can't get any retribution against them. And his general stance was like, there's no accountability for this. There's no way to get any kind of payback or leveling of the field here. So these guys don't care. They pull back, they let it rip. They don't know where it's going. We get hit, and we've got to live with it. And they were showing that in the last, I want to say it was 10 years, hit by pitches have gone up 36%. You're now getting almost 1 HBP per game.
Yeah.
Which is when you think about it, that's a lot of HBPs considering all the games that get played. And Merrifield's on the rules committee, and he's planning to take this to the rules committee to talk about what they can do about this. But in the meantime, he's had tons of players reach out, very supportive of his stance, even pitchers. They're saying, yeah, we got to stop this. Like, we got to figure out how to fix the game because we're going to get somebody hurt. We're going to get somebody hurt a lot because we're not doing anything to fix the problem. Guys are throwing max effort with no control, and this is what happens.
Yeah, I can definitely see his point. You know, back in the day, it was like, all right, like I'm going to go out to the mound, I'm going to drill the next guy up, or, you know, like there is no retribution for it. And I don't know how you fix that though. Like, how can you bring that to the rules committee and be like, hey, we need retribution put in place as a rule? Like, I don't know how you can make a change to the game to allow that to happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't know.
It's a tough spot.
It is, but I can definitely see his point. I mean, everyone out of the bullpen now comes in throwing 100, 203. Hell, what did Joyce hit 105.5 last week?
Yeah,
close to 106. Yeah.
Jesus Christ, man. I mean, like, and that's just a guy like rearing back and giving it all he's got. Like, you can't tell me I'm gonna spot this on the inside part of the plate, like at 105, throwing it max effort.
No, like
you're right.
I would challenge somebody to watch a game with one of these hard throwing guys and just see how often that catcher sets up and catches the ball like completely. A whole arm length away. Like,
right, misses completely.
These guys are throwing to an area, but they're, Maddox could hit a dime hanging off the backstop back in the day. These guys aren't that.
No.
They're just trying to beat you with sheer power. They're not spotting anything, and they do spot it. It's entirely an accident, but they're just rearing back and firing, trying to beat you with gas.
Yeah, I mean, I wonder if there's a way to, like, and I wouldn't love it. I'm just throwing it out there, just kind of spitballing here, but like I wonder if maybe you have a certain number, so like HBPs per pitcher get carried over, let's say, per 5 outings, right? So you hit a guy on Monday, and that's 1. It carries over. So you hit another guy on Tuesday, that's 2. You get 3 HBPs per 5 outings, and then after that, like, you hit your limit, and now there's like a 1 or a 2 game suspension. I don't love it. I really don't, because each kind of outing is its own game, and I think you need to be able to throw inside, right? Like, you need to be able to, like, control that. So, like, I don't love that, but if we're going to go that route, like, there's got to be some sort of punishment for that. If we're going to go there, I don't love it. I mean, I get what Merrifield's saying, but I also, like, it is the game. I mean, that's the game. Yeah. I mean, it's the game.
Right.
I don't know. This is not a great topic for me, because I don't know where I sit on it. I'm very firmly, like, in the middle on the fence. I don't know.
I mean, I think you made a great point. Like, that's really the only way you're gonna be able to police that, is if you hit 3 batters in a week, like, it's an automatic 2-game suspension or whatever the number may be. But here's another thing though too. You got to go to, like, so if you get a week, let's say like a Tuesday to a Tuesday, Monday to a Monday, whatever, and I hit 1 guy on Monday, I hit 1 guy on Tuesday. Like, you have to have, like, a reset, clean the slate kind of thing. Like, this particular guy doesn't come in for 3 games, and then it's because you can't have a guy, like, with that hanging over his head for a week and a half. So, like, if you're going to go that route, right.
That's just a dumb rule I made up. But, like, if you're going to go that route, like, you got to have some sort of, like, clean the slate.
Yeah, or is there some sort of cumulative thing over the season? Like, you can hit, after you hit so many batters, you get fined for every batter after that you hit. Maybe,
oh, sure. Okay. Yeah. Even a monetary thing. Sure.
Maybe there's a system like that where it's more of like a fine situation. But even then, like, the hard part is, to your point, Sean, like, you can't take away the inside half of the plate from the pitcher because they're afraid to get fined.
You can't. You got to be able to throw inside, particularly relievers, man. You come in for
100%.
1 inning, like, you got to own the inside of that plate. You have to be able to do it.
Yeah. Otherwise, you'll have hitters like Aaron Judge just sticking their arms out, launching stuff.
Just leaning. Right. Like, so you can't take that away. You can't.
No, you've got to allow them to play, but there's got to be something you can do to basically get pitchers to get under control. And people are making the arguments about, well, bring the sticky stuff back or raise the seams and give them a better ball to throw with. Yeah, maybe that'll help. But even then, like, when you look at the way these guys release the ball, I don't know that that's going to make much of a difference. Like, they still don't know where it's going, per se. They know roughly where it's going. But, 98, 95, 100, whatever it is, to the back of the head or the side of the head, through the helmet, still hurts like hell.
Yeah, I mean, he wore it square.
It was bad.
It square.
He got it clean. Dropped him.
I think raising seams would help. I mean, these guys are throwing cue balls out there. If you've ever picked up a Major League Baseball, when they talk about seams, I think it's a joke. Like, you can barely feel the seams on a Major League Baseball.
It's almost like they're like drawn on there.
Yeah. It's funny you bring up the baseballs. So I don't know if you guys listened. So Paul Skeens was on the Pardon My Take podcast last week, maybe Wednesday or Friday. And they had asked him about Major League Baseballs. And he had said college baseballs and then, like, single A, double A, he much prefers Major League Baseballs over those.
Really?
Yeah. And he had said, like, triple A and then big leagues kind of, like, use the same baseballs, but, like, the lower levels of minor leagues and then college, he's like, you don't know what you're going to get. Like, he's like, it just, the feel in your hand, like, it doesn't feel, some of them don't feel like real baseballs. Like, so we can talk about the seams all we want, which I think is a valid point, but to hear it, like, directly from a Major League pitcher who is pretty decent. I don't know, last time I checked, Paul Skeens pretty good.
Right.
Directly
and
from his
throws
mouth,
hard without hitting people.
Right. Like, for him to sit there and say, like, I prefer Major League Baseballs over other baseballs it kind of got me thinking a little bit, like, maybe they're not as bad as it's made out to be.
Yeah.
Well,
maybe.
I think
like, maybe some of this is just guys can't control the baseball.
Well, I think the one thing with Major League Baseball that he said is that you get the same ball all the time. Like, it's a very consistent baseball. Is it the best baseball to throw? I don't know. You could ask people and they have different opinions. But Skeens is a guy who throws really hard with really good control, and he has no problem.
Yeah.
So I think you're right, Sean. I think you go back to maybe this isn't a baseball problem. Maybe it's just the fact that these guys just don't know where the hell the ball's going because they don't care. They just want to light up the gun.
Right. Maybe it's a 15% baseball issue, 85%. I don't know where the hell this ball's going. You know, maybe versus the other way. Like for years, they've made it seem like, well, Major League Baseball is putting these guys in a tough spot. They're giving them baseballs that are impossible to control. And then you hear it right from the horse's mouth. And he's like, well, I prefer those baseballs. So I don't know. It really kind of got me thinking. I was listening to that.
I mean, it makes sense because even when I was pitching in high school, you know, like we had the raised seams in high school, and like I'd get blisters all the time from the seams just coming off my fingertips and all of that stuff. But I would get one baseball that had, you know, crazy seams, and then I'd get another one that wasn't. And,
you always get that one ball where it's almost like pitted around the seams, and the seams are like way up, and you couldn't even it hurt to hold it.
Yeah. So like I guess what Skeens was saying was like the consistency of it. Like I know what I'm going to get every time the umpire throws me a ball. So I mean, that makes sense. But yeah.
But at the same time, like you see these guys in the bullpen, and they're just dotting the zone. Like they're just warming up, throwing strikes. They get on the major league mound in the game, and all of a sudden the ball starts going everywhere. Is it because they're just not going max effort in the bullpen warming up, so they're not really truly letting it fly? Or is there something that changes between those two spots? Because like you watch a guy warm up and it's just pounding the strike zone. Yeah. They get out there and they can't hit anything but the batter. And it must be the additional level of effort they're putting in where they're releasing and praying. But at the same time, if you can have that level of control in the bullpen, why wouldn't you throw more like that? Like do what Skeens did, dial the velocity back a little bit, pick up better command and control, and you'll pitch just as well, if not better.
Yeah. Well, I think too with Skeens is his off-speed stuff is so dominant that he doesn't have to lean on his fastball versus you have like these relievers that come out and all they have is 103 mile an hour fastball.
But again, to that point, it's not a baseball issue. That's a pitching issue.
Right. No,
right? Like, that's not a baseball issue.
Yeah. No, that's fair. Yeah. Absolutely.
And Merrifield's got a point. The question now becomes, what can you do about it?
He does.
Yeah. All right. We are going to move on to trivia. I have American League franchise career record by team. So starting in the AL. Okay. And then I have another new segment. I got to fill in the blanks after that. So
all right, hold on. I got to get a beer. Hold on. This is no good.
This is going to be intense.
I'm going to get smoked here.
It shouldn't be too bad, fellas. Have some faith.
That's right. We got this, Sean.
Right. So here we go. American League franchise career records by team trivia. Who is the only Orioles player to record 6 hits in a single game?
Oh boy.
Melvin Mora.
No.
I was literally just going to say his name.
It's my boy.
Yep.
Your break is right.
Modern era?
Yes. We've seen this guy play.
Cedric Mullins.
No.
Ooh.
This one's right.
4 hits in a game. That was awesome. That
was pretty cool.
Sweet.
That cycle was sick, dude.
That was sick.
Probably the greatest Oriole of all time.
Oh, Cal?
Oh, Cal?
Yes. Cal Ripken Jr.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. Overthinking it.
June 13th.
I was like, there's no way it's him. That's too obvious. It's going to be somebody lesser known.
Yeah. All right. Next one. Which 2 pitchers hold the franchise record for career shutouts for the Boston Red Sox with 38 apiece?
38 shutouts?
Yes,
There's 2 guys?
2 guys.
Wow. So we got to be going way back on these.
On one of them you do. The other one we have seen pitch.
Clemens?
Clemens is one.
Clemens had 38 shutouts as a Red Sox?
Yep. Crazy, right?
Dude, that's crazy.
He was just that good.
Yeah.
Cy?
And Cy Young.
Gotta be Cy.
Yeah. Nuts, man. Crazy.
It's a lot of shutouts, especially like, Clemens pitched through like, the verge of all this power and the beginning of the steroids era, and holy cow.
Yeah.
38 shutouts is crazy. All right, sorry.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, it's nuts. Who holds the franchise record for most career hits for the Chicago White Sox? And this one you have to go way back.
Tippy Fairbanks.
Nope.
Like Black Sox time?
Shortstop, third baseman from 30 to 50.
Oh, so not quite Black Sox time.
Not quite.
I don't know.
He had 2,749 career hits. I think you guys definitely know this name. But this is Luke Appling.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I know the name.
Yeah, definitely know the name.
Yeah. Luke
It's hard to think of any like really recognizable White Sox.
Right.
Yeah, right.
You could have kept me here for an hour. I wouldn't have got that right.
All right. Who holds the franchise record for highest career OPS for the Cleveland Indians / Guardians?
Hafner.
No, great guess.
Tomey?
Nope, not Tomey. He played with both of those guys at one point. You're in the right area. You're in the right area. Like right years.
So not Manny.
It is Manny.
It is Manny?
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Wow.
998. Yep. Highest OPS for the Indians' career.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Right? Yeah.
Dude,
all right.
Most people that listen to this would associate Manny as a Red Sox, obviously. I get that. And he's still that record for that franchise. That's crazy.
Yeah. I couldn't believe it either. I was like, wait, let me check this source. Let me check this source. Let me check this source.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I was like,
he was pretty good,
right?
though.
I mean, he was
pretty decent.
He was all right.
Yeah. He was a pretty decent hitter.
Sounds like he was pretty good down in North Carolina too, Nick, huh?
Dude, don't. I'm so mad. Johnny Gomes was there too. Like, dude, so they had the home run derby X at Durham, but I had to work last night, so I couldn't get over there. I wanted to take so many reels and videos of those guys, but yeah, Manny ended up winning the home run derby X yesterday, and I missed it.
That man could probably still hit major league pitching today.
His swing looks incredible. I mean, it looks incredible now at his age. I mean, it looks amazing.
I mean, Gomes looked pretty good. You had was it Ian Desmond was in there too? He looked pretty good.
Yeah. Gomes looked all right, but he looked old.
Oh, he definitely looked old. Yes.
Like, Manny didn't look old. Manny just looked Manny.
That swing is still so fluid.
He's Manny.
It just makes me sick because I pull a muscle getting out of bed every morning. It's like, God dang, man, it's nuts.
Man, it just hits 375 to 400-foot bombs like it's no big deal.
Yeah. All right. Next one. Who holds the franchise record for most career intentional walks for the Detroit Tigers?
Cabrera?
It is Cabrera.
Oh, it is Miggy?
Wow.
Yeah. I was going to say, I'll give you a hint. They tried to intentionally walk this guy, and he got a base hit up the middle.
That was still one of my favorite clips.
It's so great.
Just rips it back.
I mean, I guess it's not that surprising, but you think a team like Detroit that has such history.
Yeah.
Well, my mind goes to Greenberg and K-Line. Like I'm thinking of all these other players, and I'm like, oh, Miggy, yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, Cecil Fielder, like all those big guys. But yeah,
literally big guy.
Yep. Who holds the franchise record for highest career batting average for the Houston Astros? And I'll give you a hint. It's none of the Killer Bees.
Huh. Is it an Alou?
It is an Alou. Nice job, Harrison.
Moises. I love it. He was another guy.
You should have had to qualify which Alou, but I'll give it to
you. Fair enough. Another guy, like just a pretty swing. It was short. It was quick. And no batting gloves.
No batting gloves.
Crazy to me.
And we all know that. Well, I hope it's a myth about how he got his hands to stick to the bat.
Yeah, peeing on him.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Clemens insisted that's how he toughened up his hands in the offseason too, so he didn't get blisters. I don't know.
Hey, it works. All right. Who holds the franchise record for highest career slugging percentage for the Kansas City Royals? And this would be a pull. I'll give you that hint. An absolute pull.
Mike Sweeney?
Nope. Even more of a pull than that.
Billy Butler?
Nope, even more than that. He
Modern day?
played, from 84 to 97. He played with Seattle, with Kansas City, the Yankees, the A's, White Sox, and Phillies. He played right field and designated hitter. This would be a pull for you guys.
Rip those teams again for me.
Started in Seattle in 84, then went to Kansas City in 87. Went to the Yankees in 92, Oakland in 95, White Sox in 96, Phillies in 97. Right fielder, DH.
Wow.
No, it's not. It's not Mike Sweeney, John. This is.
Oh, Danny Tartle.
Oh, Danny Tartle. He was in a. You should have said he was in a Seinfeld episode. I would have got that.
He was also in a Seinfeld episode.
Yeah, Danny Tartle.
Oh yeah.
I love Seinfeld.
Wow, Danny Tartle.
Yeah,
that is a poll.
Yeah, that's a poll. That's a poll.
Jermaine
Dye was on my list
John,
too.
yep.
I was gonna John guess Jermaine Dye. I was gonna guess Jermaine Dye too.
When Nick said it was a big poll, I got rid of guys like Jermaine Dye, Bo Jackson. Said it's not them, so let's figure out who it could be.
Right, all right.
Yeah,
Danny Tartle was crazy.
Jermaine Dye was a seriously underrated player.
Yeah.
Oh, incredibly underrated.
All right. Who holds the franchise record for most games played in a career for the California, Anaheim, Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim?
Jesus.
This one is probably who you think it is.
Gloss?
No.
Garrett Anderson?
Garrett Anderson.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The other, there were 2 or 3 guys like Salmon, Gloss, Anderson that were there for a long time.
Yep. 2013 games played.
I'll never forget Garrett Anderson hitting that home run that like literally hit the base of Pesky's pole. It was like the shortest home run ever.
If they only played the Red Sox, he'd be a first ballot Hall of Fame.
Oh my God, he torched them every time.
If he only played the Red Sox.
Yep, and he's the only player, I believe, in Major League history to win the Home Run Derby and win the Major League All-Star MVP in the same year. So
yeah, I think you're right.
Pretty cool.
You're right.
Yeah, those Angels teams were good in that stretch.
And it might have been at Fenway Park he did it.
It goes to show you coaching matters, man. They had a great manager.
Oh, Sosha.
Sosha was
one of my
legit.
favorites.
It just goes to show you coaching matters.
Yep.
Coaching matters.
Garrett Anderson, MVP All-Star game. I was trying to figure out what year he did it, because if he did it at Fenway, it would be nuts.
No, I don't think he did it at Fenway.
It would make sense if he did.
He didn't do it in 99.
No, it was 2003.
Yeah.
But, okay. Who holds the franchise record for most career saves for the Minnesota Twins?
Nathan?
Nathan? Gotta be, yeah.
260.
He's like the only closer of note.
If it wasn't him, I have no idea.
I had nobody after him. That was it.
Yeah, no, me neither.
Joan Duran, he's getting up there.
I mean, he one day, but yeah, not now.
No, that dude's filthy.
His stuff is gross. Yeah. His entrance is even grosser.
Yeah, it's cool. All right. Who holds the franchise record for most career triples for the New York Yankees?
Oh, John, everyday Eddie Guardado. Yeah, that's a good one too.
I associate him with Seattle more than anything else.
Yeah. He had a good run in Minnesota, but yeah.
Franchise record for triples for the Yankees.
Is this like a random poll or is this somebody?
It's a big name. Probably someone you wouldn't associate with triples, though.
Oh, okay. Reyes?
No.
Alfonso?
No. Way back.
Strawberry.
Way back.
Mickey.
Back. Okay.
Mickey.
No, before him.
Before Mickey Mantle?
Yes, sir.
Jesus.
I mean,
I'm thinking Mets.
It's not Babe Ruth.
No, but it's his teammate.
DiMaggio?
No, it's Ruth's teammate.
Oh, Gehrig.
Yes.
I'm guessing Mets players over here were in the index.
Yeah, well, you said Reyes. I was like, I'm going to let that slide.
Jesus.
Well, you said. You said Strawberry too. Well, he played for the Yankees, so I was like, I don't know where he's going.
He did. I don't know. I literally had Mets on the brain. I don't know.
I mean, he said Reyes. I was like, I'm not going to say anything, but like that, I don't know any Reyes Yankee.
That guy is an idiot. Just don't say anything.
Yeah, Lou Gehrig, 163 triples. All right.
I'm back.
Who holds the franchise record for most career walks for the Oakland Athletics?
Scott Hatteberg.
Nope.
He gets on base.
Great Moneyball player.
Career walks. Ricky?
Yes, it is Ricky.
Ricky was going to be. I was going to say Giambi or Ricky. Ricky's a good one. Yeah.
12, 27.
And they all turned into doubles about 2 pitches later.
Right. Who holds the franchise record?
I would, real quick, I would love to see if there was a way to look up that stat. How many of those walks turn into stolen bases?
Oh, man.
All of them.
Yeah.
100%
like,
of them.
Theoretically all of them. But like in actuality, like I would love to know if there's a way to look that up because I bet you it's a high clip.
It's got to be a lot.
Yeah. Crazy.
All right, go ahead. Sorry.
Who holds the franchise record for most career wins and most career losses for the Seattle Mariners?
This guy holds both records?
Yes, sir.
It's got to be King Felix, right?
It is King Felix, yeah.
That's such a sad record.
It's so sad.
Yeah. It's got a perfect game in there. That's all that matters.
Sure does. That was awesome.
That
was one of my favorite games to watch.
Oh, such a good game.
Him bringing that home was one of my favorite games to watch.
Talk about wasting a guy's talent.
Oh, and he's another guy with like the Adrian Beltre back and forth because they're like best friends. Yeah. It's like hilarious. It's so funny.
I got to watch him. It was like years ago. Years ago. I got like last minute. My uncle had Seattle was playing at Fenway. Day game, end of a series. And he's like, I can't go. Do you want to go? You know, I was going to go with, you know, his daughter, my cousin. And I was like, yeah, I'll go. That'd be awesome. And Felix was on the mound and he dealt. And when I say dealt, I mean dealt. I mean, it was, and we were sitting like right behind, we were like maybe 10 or 12 rows, like behind the Seattle dugout. And I'm like obviously rooting for the Red Sox, and I'm just clapping for this dude every inning as he's walking off. I'm like, this guy's unreal. Sox ended up winning in 10 in a walk-off single, but it was awesome. I mean, to see that guy live was incredible. He was so good.
Yeah, I'll never forget. I saw him, but I was sitting way out in the bleachers. I didn't have good seats like that. Kind of in the center field where like at triangles, and you could hear the snap of the glove like out in the outfield, and then like watching guys miss the ball by a foot or two was. It was just fun to watch.
He's so good.
Yeah. All right. Who holds the franchise record for highest career batting average for the Tampa Bay Rays?
It's probably like a Ben Zobrist or something.
Nope.
Wade Boggs.
No.
Nope.
Fred McGriff.
Oh, yeah. Wade Boggs is a good one.
Not McGriff.
Longoria?
Nope.
Carl Crawford?
It is Crawford.
Oh, yes.
296.
He had a couple years where he was just unreal good.
Yeah.
And also killed the Red Sox till he got to Boston. Then he continued to kill the Red Sox even when he got to Boston.
And we still don't have a Tampa Bay Ray in the Hall of Fame, right? There's no Tampa Bay Ray player in the Hall of Fame, right?
Like officially as a Ray?
Yeah, not wearing the hat, no. Guys that played there.
So well, I'll say this. We said Wade Boggs. So Wade Boggs announced Saturday, so yesterday, that he has prostate cancer, which is really, really sad, you know. And so you just, you know, prayers up for Wade, his family, his friends. I mean, that's tough. And he was just, I mean, I know it's obviously we didn't kind of plan to do that here, but you guys mentioned Wade Boggs and we're talking about the Rays and it just kind of popped in my head. I saw that yesterday, and that's horrible. So, you know, we'll prayers up for Wade, his family, friends, and that's tough news. Tough news.
True legend. You know, he loved his chicken and his beer. Didn't hide it. But
even still, though, dude. I mean, it's outside of all that stuff. I mean, just like one of the most pure hitters that this game's ever seen. Good. That's one of the, and we could do a whole show on Wade Boggs. We should do that. But like just unbelievable pure hitter that this game's ever seen and probably ever will see. Yep. You know, because we talk about the way that this game is changing into like hit the alleys, hit it over the fence, like chicks dig the long ball and all that stuff. But I mean, you watch this guy put in a bat together and he did it 3-4 times a game. Nobody better.
No. Yeah. He was one of the few ever.
Yeah. All right. Who holds the franchise record for most career stolen bases for the Texas Rangers? And I'll give you a hint.
Elvis Andrus.
Yes.
Yeah. Let's go.
305. Oh, that was going to be my hint. We talked about him already.
We talked about it earlier. I figured that was coming. I had to get it out.
Yeah, Elvis Andrus. Who holds the franchise record for most career at bats for the Toronto Blue Jays?
Ooh, Carlos Delgado.
No, great guess, but was a teammate of Delgado, so it's that time frame.
Was a teammate of Delgado's.
Center fielder.
Vernon Wells.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Another guy that would be a first ballot Hall of Famer if he only played the Red Sox.
Oh my
I feel like he killed the Red
Sox.
Another guy that just like killed us.
He really did.
Smoked him. Yeah. All right. Here come the fill in the blanks. Okay. So here we go. The 2019 Hall of Fame induction class included outfielder Harold Baines, DH Edgar Martinez, starting pitcher Mike Mussina, relief pitcher Mariano Rivera, relief pitcher Lee Smith, and starting pitcher.
Was that Doc?
It was
Doc Halladay.
Oh, great call.
Roy Halladay, the late Roy Halladay.
R.I.P. in peace.
Oh,
God, he was a guy like a Framber Valdez, just pounded the strike zone, knew you couldn't hit it, didn't care.
The coolest matchup I've ever seen in my life was spring training. Our college team went down. We went to Dunedin for spring training. I saw Roy Halladay pitch against Ken Griffey Jr.
Oh, sick.
When he was on the Reds, and Griffey took him deep.
Cool? Was that cool or what?
It was all right. Like Griffey took him deep, and then clear out of the stadium. And we left in the 7th inning to go behind the fence to see if we can find the ball. And our pitcher found it. Greg Kimball found the ball in a bush.
Nice.
So, yeah, it was pretty
standard.
Cool. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Roy Halladay. All right. Blank blank was the oldest player to hit his first career blank.
Is it first career cycle?
Nope.
First career walk-off.
Nope.
First career triple.
Nope. It's home run.
Okay, home run.
So simple.
So probably what we should have first guessed.
Yeah, we probably should have gone there first. We're like walk off, like should have just gone with home right down the middle with home run. Oldest hit his first career.
Is it Orioles? Is that the background to giveaway? Is it the Orioles?
Nope. It's the Mets, and not a position player.
Oh, Bartolo
Colon.
Yeah. Yep.
Nice.
Bartolo Colon hits his first home run.
I watched, dude. That was awesome. Seeing that live.
It's so cool. All right. Ty Cobb has the highest career batting average at 366. Rogers Hornsby is second at 358. Blank, blank, blank is third at 356. The first one is a nickname. Like the first name, and then his name comes out.
Shoeless Joe Jackson?
Yes, sir. Shoeless Joe Jackson.
What a shame what happened to him.
Yeah.
Nick, you got to acknowledge the comment. You didn't play with Craig Kimbrell.
No, it was not Craig.
Different Kimbrell.
It was
Yeah.
Greg.
Oh, yeah. It was Greg Kimball. Greg
I mean,
Kimball.
that would be so sweet if you played with Craig Kimbrell and we haven't had him on the podcast. And you played with him in college.
That would be ridiculous if we played if you played with him and didn't invite him on.
Yeah, right. I have played with a major leaguer before on my college team, though. That was pretty
True.
Cool. So,
True. We got to figure that out.
yeah. I don't even know where he is right. I think he's still in Seattle, actually.
Yeah, I don't think he came back to Maine.
Yeah. So, all right. Albert Pujols holds the major league record for most blank in his career with 426.
Double plays.
Yes, grounded into double plays.
Yeah, he grounded into a ton of them.
Yeah, grounded into.
Well, he hit a lot of home runs. He kind of made up for it.
Yeah, he hit a few.
Yeah.
700, 426. Even trade.
Give or
It's
take.
a good trade-off.
Yeah. All right. Don Mattingly and blank hold the record for most blank and a single season with 6.
Well, it's grand slams, right?
Yep.
And is it Robin Ventura?
No, not Robin Ventura.
What's the era?
90s, 2000s, early 2000s.
Tatis?
That's just going to
Senior?
guess.
No. This is supposed to be Indians colors.
Oh, is it Hafner?
It is Hafner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah, Travis Hafner, grand slams. All right. In 2017, Nolan Arenado became the last player to finish off a cycle with a blank.
Inside the Parker?
Inside the park?
No, great guess.
Oh, I thought he did. Oh, is it a ground rule double?
No.
Walk-off homer?
Yes, walk-off
Oh,
homer.
nice.
Yeah, walk-off home run to finish off the cycle. And
That's
there's
pretty
like
sweet.
there's
That's
a
gotta be
lot.
sweet.
It's actually a pretty big list. Like I was shocking when I looked it up. I was like, dang, there's a handful of people that have done it before.
Yeah.
But
Cool way to finish it off. Like Sean was saying, like
nuts.
That's so cool.
what a moment.
Yeah.
I mean, what are you more excited about? The walk-off homer, the fact you use it for the cycle? Like, I don't know.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Fair.
I'm just excited squared. Like
I mean,
Yeah.
listen, dude, I did it one time in travel ball, hit for the cycle. It was like the coolest feeling ever. And it was not at the Major League Baseball level. So that would be so cool.
Yep.
Yeah, nuts. In June of 1998, blank hit blank home runs in the month, which is still an MLB record today.
Oh, is it Sosa?
Yep.
And he hit like 20, wasn't it like 21 or something?
I'll give it to you. 20.
20.
Nice.
Hit 20
Well done,
home runs in a
Harrison.
month. Nice. All right, Harrison. This next one is for you and you only. So Sean,
Great. Now I'm not going to get it. Thanks.
Benito Santiago holds the consecutive hit streak record for a rookie at 34
no.
games. Blank set the AL rookie record at 30 games in 1997.
Please tell me it's Nomar and you set me up for it.
Yes.
Because there's not Nomar, I'm out.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
Melvin Mora.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I should have guessed that just for the hell of it. Really
All right.
piss him off.
You might think that Steve Carlton is part chicken since he holds the record for most career blank with 90.
Box.
Yes.
Oh, jeez.
Box. Yeah.
I also feel like he could have had 20 and he could have had 300. Like,
Yeah,
I feel
right.
like someone, like the way his move was so incredible.
Oh,
I feel like at times I would bet many of his box nowadays would not be box, but I'm so just like, I was fooled, so box.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
His move was so good.
yeah. It was
Yeah.
like back in the days of Mark Burley. Same thing. Like umpires were like,
So
is
good.
it? I don't know. Like,
Yeah, I got fooled, so we're just going to call it.
Right.
yeah, you
They
fooled
get-
me as much as you fooled the runner, so I'm going to give it to you.
Yeah, they start watching the pitch and realize that he's coming over to first, and the ump's like, safe, I guess. I don't balk. I don't know.
Does John Lester have a career balk, I wonder?
No, he threw over
'Cause he
what?
Never
Twice?
threw over?
Yeah. No, it's crazy.
That's a
All
lot
right.
of balks.
Last one I got. Relief pitcher Tony Watson holds the career record for blank with 246. This stat was not observed before 1999.
Is it holds?
Holds.
It is
Yeah.
holds. Nice. Yeah. Holds. Yep. Nice job, fellas. You did all right this week.
That was not
Wasn't
bad.
too bad.
That was not bad.
You
That was
guys
not
did
bad.
great. We're
We didn't miss
improving.
Babe Ruth this time.
Dude, so someone commented, like someone that always comments on our reels and stuff, and like he was laughing about it, like thought it was funny, and he because it was the full segment you had put out of like all the letters, and he goes, you guys were going so fast. He's like, I actually put this out in a group text to my friends and it took them forever. He's like, so the fact that you guys were able to get through it as fast as you did, he's like, but Ruth guys, come on now.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
I
I
was
know.
like,
I know.
I
It's
was
bad.
like-
It's bad. Listen, man.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
bad. Okay? Hand up.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's
but
bad.
our,
That's okay.
our brains melted for a moment. I don't know
Yeah.
what happened.
And that's what I said in the comment back to him. I was like, dude, like I was laughing so hard because like I was like, oh my goodness, guys.
Sean
come
said
on.
A-Rod. I'm like, yep, let's go. I like it.
Sure.
Like,
Yeah.
I was
yeah,
done. I
it was,
moved
dude,
on.
It was bad. It was bad. It was bad.
It is.
Oh,
what are you gonna
do? Yeah, it was crazy. But
good times.
All right. That's all I have. Do you guys have anything to add before I introduce the guests we're going to have on next week?
I'm good.
Sean. So two quick things real quick for you guys. One, Aaron Judge has been homerless in a week and has fallen off of his trend. So he's got to hit a lot of home runs the next 3 weeks to be able to get to 60, which is looking like
this is like last year though.
Unlikely.
Right. It was about the same time too.
And he's not getting pitched to again. Like he's not seeing a lot of great pitches hit. In the meantime, Juan Soto's raking because he's hitting in front of Judge. So he's getting all the pitches to hit.
Yep. And Shohei's at what, 46 and 46?
46
I believe.
and 46.
Yeah. So he's 4-4 away. Crazy.
And then lastly, Sports Illustrated put an article out today. Apparently there's some they're calling it friction in the front office of the Cubs. Some disagreements over the direction of the club, the moves they did make and didn't make. It sounds like a front office shakeup could be coming because there's a lot of problems within that front office as they close out the season.
Like what? Like just where they want the franchise to go, or like
so it sounds like there's a lot of internal debate and infighting over some of the signings they did make, like Bellinger, the fact that they waited too long to make moves, they didn't do enough, ownership pulled payroll. There's a lot of they're calling it, friction inside the front office, but basically you've got a front office and an owner that don't see eye to eye, and nobody knows where that's going to lead to. But it's been apparently dysfunctional for a little while, since like the All-Star break, and it's not getting better as they start to plan for next year.
It sounds like it's just the trend that's going on in Chicago right now on both sides of this town.
It is, and I think the Cubs, they made the big splash. And honestly, I'm sure ownership's looking at these guys going, you needed counsel. We got you Imanaga. We brought you back Bellinger. What gives, guys? Like, you're worse this year. We gave you more. What happened? And there's a lot of debate about what they should have done and shouldn't have done. But the moral of the story is they waited too long to make moves. They didn't make the moves they should have. They didn't have all the tools they should have had. But there's a belief there's going to be an end of season shakeup in the front office, and that may end up with a guy like Hoyer walking away.
Dang.
Which would be bad for them because he's been really good for that organization.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Anything else for tonight?
Nope.
I'm good.
No. All right. Next week, I am crazy excited about our guest for next week. So, Sophia Silverstein, if you haven't seen the viral video, it's been going around. She hit like 16 home runs in a row in the Little League Home Run Derby for softball. She is going to be on our show as a guest next week to talk about that moment in her career. She plays baseball, softball, volleyball, soccer. I mean, she plays everything. And it's going to be really, really awesome to have her on. If you have not seen the clip, it is worth a look up. Her swing is absolutely unreal, and she just goes on a tear. I think she hit 25 in the final round to win it.
Yeah, I put a link in the chat. 25 total, 16 in a row.
It was pretty awesome. It was pretty awesome.
Just a pure power stroke.
Oh,
yeah. So she's going to
just wonderful follow through, hips through. I mean, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
It's really it's worth a watch.
Yeah, at 13 years old too. So I mean that's nuts.
Right,
so,
8th grade. Yeah.
So it's going to be really cool. So we had Cam Beckwith on our show last year around this time when he came back from the Little League World Series as a representative of the main team. So this would be the second year in a row we've had somebody that's come out of Williamsport in some capacity. So this will be awesome to have her on and talk about her career and what it looks like and how she trains.
Rip.
I mean
she rips. She rips.
Yeah.
Really, really impressive.
Yeah.
Very impressive.
So definitely tune in next Monday. She will be on and we'll be talking all about that and her journey through that and up to that. Because I'm sure she would have to qualify to get into Williamsport to get to that national level. So just to see what that looked like, it's going to be awesome.
And then to win it, like convincingly win it. Like not by a little bit. And the home runs she hit were bombs.
Yeah.
Can you guys get on Mont? Isn't he like 30?
I'll try my best.
I'm pretty sure he was like 18 when he played in the Little League World Series, but
I think he's older than we are, to be
He's
honest.
like my age.
Yeah. But yeah, so yeah, it's pretty cool. So I can't wait to interview her next week. That's going to be awesome. So definitely tune in for that. But before you go, make sure you follow and like us on Facebook. You can also follow us on Instagram. You can subscribe on YouTube. You can also listen on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your podcast. Share our reels, comment on our reels. We love the interactions, like I say every week. The support has been, like I said at the beginning of the show, unreal. We love that you guys come back and chat with us, live in the discussion while we're on the show. We love that. So thank you so much. Regular time next week as Harrison enjoys his Florida vacation. You bum. And we will see you next Monday at 8 p.m.